Hello guys, welcome to Broken Sword. We've left off at the costume shop. George Stobart is trying to find the killer. So we're trying to sort out everything that's been going on and basically see who this murderer is. So we're going to start chatting to him first.
Excuse me?
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
What? I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
So we want to ask about Cochon.
Have you heard of a man named Plantard?
Sorry, Plantard.
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Cochon was the other one with Nico.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
That's quite worrying, because I hate clowns. Yet again.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Ew.
Let me smell that.
Yuck.
Bestheimer's number 7, white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
2 cans.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Let's see if we can find a picture of this person.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint.
There we go.
I remember the scar
So
on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Okay, so he's called Khan. Should we exhaust all options?
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
It's a manhole cover. Go of yourself,
Thanks for your
George.
help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A
Oh,
gift?
thanks.
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
You don't want to, should we say, damage everything. So, this is a lovely costume shop. Let's see if we can go anywhere else. So that was where Nico went. That's the cafe we went to, Rue de Jarry. Let's try and go to the cafe and see if there's anything. Oh, it's all been boarded up, so there's not really anything we can look over here. Let's try the police station, because I'm guessing that the police have gone back to the police station. There he is. Let's have a chat to him now. See if he's found anything of interest.
Excuse me, Sergeant.
What do you want now?
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his right cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
I do.
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
There's no point, I found, talking to this guy.
It's Stobart, monsieur.
Without
he
talking
insists
to
on
him.
talking to you again.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
For a 90s game, it's pretty good graphics.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
But
Why?
I've been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Oh, so what about
Did you find out
Plantard?
the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
You already knew who he was? Why?
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantard.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
So what about Khan then?
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No. You must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobart.
Why? That's boring.
So long, Inspector.
That was helpful. So shall we continue to talk to him?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
And his scar.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
Manhole cover?
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
Clown nose?
I found this red nose in the sewer,
What were you doing down there?
fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
Doing your
You still
job.
insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Grease paint
Do
tissue?
you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
It's
No
evidence.
way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Okay.
See you later, Sergeant.
So maybe we should try going back to Nico. Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
So let's talk about the manhole cover.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but... well, I had a job to do.
Let's try the
How
picture.
come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
What do you expect me to do?
I showed you the red nose, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Why
Several
don't you
times.
put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, you might have had a cold.
So we're just using the same...
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
So that was pointless.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
So where do they... Have I spoken to her? You try speaking to her?
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. How's your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
Maybe not yet, but I see your paths entwined in the future.
I doubt it. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Oh, what a hunk.
He's a killer.
I can see that. His eyes say it all.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand?
No, I wouldn't. I can see the future, remember?
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
Manhole cover then?
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur.
Okay. So, I think we should try back here, maybe knock on the door, perhaps. Maybe we can talk to him, I don't know.
Hi there, remember me?
Ah, Mary, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
Nope.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Is there anything down here that I've missed? I don't think there is.
It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
So, what have we got then? What do we know? Wearing trousers made of the same material, and there's a scar on his cheek in the shape of a crescent moon. Inside the clown's nose I found the name of the costume shop. Got grease paint from the costume shop and rented 2 costumes, Seamus the Pixie and Bose the Clown. Apparently he called himself Khan. Nico was right, the police are ignoring these murders. Inspector Russo refused to even discuss the incident and said he'd be taken off the case. It was beginning to look like a cover-up.
It was Nico's photograph. It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers.
I think we're missing something here. There's nothing else to look at here. Oh, what's that?
Hello? Who is this?
Hi, my name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
So this is the tailor.
Collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Maybe talk to
Do
him
you know a
about
guy
Plantar?
called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
Well,
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him.
That's the badger?
I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
So, sounds a bit more promising. And there we go, Hotel Ubu. So, there's thugs here. There's some sort of... I feel like I need to escape them later, probably. So, this is Hotel Ubu. Let's have a look. Who should we speak to first? Speak to her.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that.
What a weird way to say it.
Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Oh.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Well.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Oh.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
What?
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
What?
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honour. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Oh, happy days.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Oh, so he's out and about
Are you sure
somewhere.
you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him. Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
I don't want to shake her. No, I'll just finish there. So, we need to get into his room. Somehow. Can I go up? I can go up.
The door.
It's locked. I think all these doors are going to be locked.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked.
Surprise, surprise. So maybe we can check the guest book.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
So it's definitely Merlin. He's definitely the bad guy. And what's better, this key here is going to be Merlin's room. He looks a bit like he's going to be hard work, but we will save that for the next video. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao for now.